Ahoy there, YouTube. Good and bad news. Actually, it's not great news, but my cam is going to be a little longer than anticipated, unfortunately. So, I don't feel like waiting a couple more weeks till my new cam gets here, so we're going to start throwing a stock cam on it, and we'll do a 3A performance grind camshaft video later down the road. Because I'm not waiting a couple more weeks. I'm going to go ahead and get this done. It's almost done. So, basically all I've left is a cylinder head, carb, fuel lines, a couple of little things, and it's ready to rock and roll. So, in this video, we're going to put the cylinder head together, maybe drop the cylinder head on. We'll see how far we get. Let's get rolling. So, excuse me for the messy workbench, guys. It's been a little bit busy in here lately. But this is my intake and exhaust manifold. This is my my cylinder head right here. I believe I have the cam in there. A cam in there right now. No, I don't. Anyway, these have all been port matched to a gasket. So basically, if you take a gasket, lay it over top of here, you can see how much bigger around that is. See how that fits in there? Well, stock one, laying up next to it, is like almost a third of that. Like, there's way less actual room inside of there. So this should breathe a lot better, a lot nicer, and should be way more race car. So I guess we'll go ahead right now, and we're going to throw this together first thing. Got this little heat shield right here that's going to go over top of all this. And that is going to go on top of here like this. Then we get some bolts that go inside of here. Longer ones go back over here. Shorter ones go right inside of here. Awesome. Now the EGR port does go right here. I'm going to go ahead and actually put a plate right there and plug that off. And then this is like a M14 by something or another plug. So we're going to put that on there and plug all that off too, because I don't want anything to do with any of that either. So, yeah. That's all later down the road though. For right now, let's go ahead and put the cylinder head together, I guess. And open this bad boy up. It's only been a whole last year since you've been in here. Alright, got another cam right here. Just a bone stock cam. Not all that clean, unfortunately, but it'll be alright. Go ahead and kind of lube everything up a little bit. There's a little ATF. Oil's probably fine, but I'm using ATF because this is what I like. It's got a little bit more detergents than regular old motor oil. I'm going to drop that in there. Should fit just like so. Move up all these. These are all nice and wet. Money. Now we'll go ahead and throw all the caps on here. Toyota stamps these multiple different ways. You can see that one says 2, that one says 3, that one says 4. The front one's always going to be this one. I've seen it where instead of stamping with numbers, they are stamped with like an arrow. So there'll be an arrow with 1 line, an arrow with 2 lines, and an arrow with 3 lines. Almost just like a house in a way, like 3 arrows, and it's all to a T. Numbers are going to be facing forward. So let's go ahead and I guess slide these things all in place. I got to get the right bolts for all the different spots. Right, that's going to go there. There is number 2. Let's go there. Where did I just put the fourth one? There it is. Those go there. Cool. Everything's still rotating. We're not torqued yet, so I gotta go get my book out. Let's go torque these down. All right, so we're about to go torque this down. For the factory service manual, I gotta torque them in sequence. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 8 to 10 foot-pounds is the torque spec. So we got a 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna do 5 first. I'm gonna get real fancy here. Whoa, we overshot 5. We're at 6.3. That's okay. It's not that much. Next one. Cool. We're going to jump this up to 9. Because 9's in between 8 and 10, and that makes me happiest. 9. All right, we're all at about 9 right there. That's a good happy medium between 8 and 10. So that's what we're feeling for right here. It's like thrust clearance right here. The factory service manual says maximum allowed is 0.009, so 9 thousandths. Standard is 0.3 to 0.7. So I'm not a dial indicator, but I've done some measuring over my days. And I would say we're probably moving right here around 4 to 5. So I think we're at a pretty happy medium. It's definitely not no 9 thousandths, so we'll be good. This will work. All right, let's go ahead and throw the rockers on. This has a little bit of dirt on it, but it'll be okay. We're doing a brake and oil change quick soon, right? So. No, that's backwards. Get your head together, Luke. Do this right. Okay. Torque spec for these is 17 to 19. So I'm going to start off by torquing these to like 10. Just to kind of get them seated. Do 1. 4, 5. Now we're going to do 17 to 19. So we will do, we'll just jump right to 17. 18. 17. 17. 17. I'll do this one more pass to make sure I'm not missing anything. I'm going to do it a little bit backwards too because it's just a torque check. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then those 3 over there I'm leaving a lot less because there are a lot less threads. There's actually no torque spec listed in the factory service manual for those little side bolts for the rockers, but I'm pretty sure they're like way less than these ones. They're probably like 10 foot-pounds because they're really small. So, all right, I guess let's go ahead and spin this now. Go ahead and put my cam seal on it, and then we'll go ahead and set relatively close to rocker arm clearance. Make sure that's all snug and good to go. All right, time to throw my cam seal in here. I'm gonna go ahead and oil this up ever so slightly on this seal lip. And by oil, I mean ATF. And then I'm gonna oil this up here ever so slightly. Just so everything's all wet in the seal there. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, there's like a 40% chance, maybe even larger, that I'm going to need a speedy sleeve. Because there's a little bit of a lip on the edge of this where the seal rides right here. But we're going to risk it and just see what happens. Use a 36mm socket that fits right over the cam there. Just going to gently tap that in place. And voila! The seal is in the place. So now I'm going to go ahead and throw this cam gear on here. Cam gear on here. So the torque spec for this is like... backwards. The torque spec for this is like 30 foot-pounds. So... probably about 30 foot-pounds right there. All right, now we got to go ahead and set the valve lash. This is going to be real fun and take forever. All right, these are all loose. All right, so now in order to set this valve lash, I need to get my feeler gauges. All right, the factory service manual wants me to set the clearance for 1, 2, 4, and 6 for 8 to 12,000. It's gonna be hard to do without getting my hand in the way. I need this to be right in there and nice and snug. So I'm gonna basically snug that up. That's just kind of lightly. Very light drag. That feels like a pretty light drag right there. So I'll go snug this up. There's one. Exhaust has got to be 12 thousandths. Exhaust, so we want 12 on this one. Feels pretty snug actually right there. Light drag. All right. This one again. We're going to skip this one. It's going to go to this one. This one I got to set. It's an intake valve, so I got to set this one to 8 thousandths right here. Let's try that. Okay, we're going to skip one again and go to the third from the last. That's an exhaust, so we got to have that one set to 12 thousandths. right, that feels pretty good. And we're going to go ahead and rotate this cam. Now we're going to do 1, 2, 3 should be loose, 5, and the last 2. So 1, 2, 3 is an exhaust, so 12 thousandths. Sorry for making you guys move. Okay. Skip 2, that's an intake. So that one needs to be 8 thousandths. It's way loose. Alright, just go ahead and snug this up right here. That one's a little bit heavy of a drag, but it'll be okay. Last one's an exhaust right here. So another 12 thousandths. And the very, 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 very last one is the intake. Another 8,000 one. Perfect. Enough anyway. And voila. That is one camshaft rocker arm assembly all set up. And before we put the valve cover on here, after we get this thing all bolted and torqued down, for now, let's move back over to the end. Alright, so before I go throw this head gasket on the block, one thing that I have always done that I saw on the Tercel 4-wheel drive forum is to drill a 3/16 hole right here and a 5/16 hole right here. Now you can see that these two holes are close together and there's one bigger hole there. The one next to the tour holes is going to get a 3/16 and the one over here is going to get a 5/16. Just something I've seen done on the Tercel 4-wheel drive forum. Petros recommended it in his head gasket replacement thing, says it allows coolant to flow a little bit better. Evidently there's coolant passages that flow through here and into the across the cylinder head. It'll keep the cylinder head temps cooler. I've just done it on multiple head gaskets whenever I've done them, so I'm going to go ahead and keep doing it going forward. So what we want to do is do a 3/16 hole right about here, and then a 5/16 hole right about there. So I'm going to go like right there, should be good. And the 5/16 hole right about there should be good. Now I'll clean off all these extra edges with a razor blade and we'll go throw this in the block. Alright, well, it's almost time for the big moment. Head gasket's gonna go right there. You can tell the two areas where it goes apart because there's 2 holes in one port and 2 separate holes over there. I have 100% installed these head gaskets out upside down, so be careful. You will be very upset when it's upside down. Ask me how I know. Alright, let's go drop the cylinder head on. I'm off a little bit. Okay. Cylinder head bolt time. Spherical washers, you want the bevel side facing up. Easy it is to see. Now it's a good idea to use a little thread sealer or something to lube the threads up. I'm going to use my favorite ATF. All right, I'm gonna get these snug first, and we'll go through the torque sequence. All right, time to go through the torque. 40 to 47 foot-pounds is the final torque sequence. I'm gonna start off at 22. We'll follow this in order. Ow, I just pinched my finger around this rocker arm. Idiot. Start with 22, like I said. We'll do 22, then we'll do like 36, and then we'll do 47. So we'll do 25. That seems a little bit better. 25, 36, 47. That's like, math. That's that. That's 1. This is 2. These up here. Get a little extension out so I can just reach over these rocker arms a little bit better. Now, before you guys flame me in the comments about torque wrenches, extensions, applied torque is applied torque. When you are applying torque, it does not matter if there's 33 extensions on it or not. Torque will be the same. If you don't like that answer, challenge me and I will prove it in the video. 7. 8. 9. 10. All right, now, like I said, we're going to jump up to 36. So we got 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10, and a final torque sequence at 47 foot-pounds. One. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Making a final pass. All right. The head is torqued. Okay, well, we're gonna go sauce it up with some oil. I'm gonna use 1540 because it's what I got. So I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle a little oil all over the rocker arms, get it all filled up. And then I'll probably put the valve cover on it and I'll go button it up. And we'll see what happens. All right. Alright, we've got about a quart in there so far. When I go to fire this up, I am going to keep the distributor disconnected and let it run for a little while just to cycle the oil through everything, make sure the oil pump's all primed and everything's well primed before we actually go ahead and crank it over for the first time. So, just so you guys are all aware. But I do kind of want to just still do this. Right, well, we're making some serial progress right now. I'm going to go ahead and shut the camera off for a while, do the timing belt. I'm going to get the temp sensor all plugged in over here on the coolant. Button up a couple other little small things that aren't really worth putting in a video that I think will be pretty boring. I'm going to get some exhaust plumbed in here. I've got like a random downpipe that's just going to have to work for right now. I need to go take this to an exhaust shop soon, which that's another expense I didn't think about until just now. That sucks. But anyway, I'm going to put the valve cover on. I will bring you guys back in when I go put the carburetor on and everything like that. And so we'll do a first startup video soon, but I gotta get all the hoses and all this other BS in here. That's not that exciting. So I'm gonna go knock some stuff out right now. You guys probably gonna wrap it up for this video. Next video, we're gonna put the carburetor on, get her fired up and get her running. And we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. Really appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Adios.